The sun was a soft promise in the early sky. It climbed slowly over the distant misty mountains. Light touched the small wooden hut where Kenji lived. Kenji was an old samurai. His face was like a map of many peaceful years. He moved with a quiet grace. The air around him was calm. Birds sang their first songs of the day. The world was waking up gently. Dewdrops sparkled on the grass like tiny diamonds. He felt the cool morning air on his skin. It was a fresh start, a new beginning always. Kenji's home was very simple. It stood near a whispering bamboo forest. The bamboo stalks swayed softly in the breeze. They made a gentle, rustling sound. It was like nature's own music. A small stream flowed nearby. Its water was clear and cool. It gurgled over smooth stones, a constant soothing song. Flowers grew wild in his small garden. They were not rare, but they were beautiful. He tended to them with care each day. This small patch of earth was his whole world, and it was enough. He found joy in its simple beauty. His days began with the sun. He would sit on his worn mat. He would watch the light change. He listened to the sounds of the forest waking. There was no hurry in his movements. Each action was deliberate and full of peace. He did not own many things, a few clothes, a bowl, his katana, but he felt rich. His richness came from the quiet moments. It came from the beauty around him. He understood that true wealth was not in gold or silver. It was in the heart's contentment. The forest was his temple, the sky was his roof, the earth was his floor. He learned from the trees that stand tall and patient. He learned from the stream that flows around obstacles. He learned from the flowers that bloom without asking for praise. Life for Kenji was a gentle dance with nature. He was a part of it, not separate. This understanding brought him deep peace, a peace that shone from his eyes. It was a peace that others could feel when they were near him, a silent invitation to stillness. After his morning quiet, Kenji would sometimes practice with his katana. Today, however, he chose a different task for the blade. He carefully unwrapped the long sword. Its steel gleamed faintly in the soft light. It was an instrument of war, yes. But in Kenji's hands, it was also a tool for focus. It was a tool for understanding. He handled it with deep respect. The sword was an extension of his spirit. It was sharp and clear, like a focused mind. He moved towards a small wooden table. On it lay a few pieces of fruit. He picked up a ripe orange. Its skin was bright. It smelled sweet and fresh. He held it gently in one hand. With his other hand, he raised the katana. The long blade seemed too large for such a small task, but Kenji's movements were precise. They were full of mindful attention. The sword descended slowly. There was no sound but the softest whisper. The blade passed through the orange. It was a clean, perfect cut. He did not rush. He did not hesitate. Each movement was a meditation, a perfect present moment. He laid the two halves of the orange on the table. The inside was juicy and vibrant. He then took an apple. Its skin was red and shiny. Again the katana moved. It danced with a slow, sure rhythm. Slice after slice, the apple fell into perfect segments. Each piece was identical. Each cut was a lesson in mindfulness. It showed how to bring complete attention to the smallest things in life, to do simple things with great care. This was a secret to peace, to find beauty in the ordinary. The way he cut the fruit was like a prayer. It was about being fully present. The world outside faded away. There was only the fruit, the blade, and his breath. This simple act taught a deep lesson. It taught that focus brings clarity. It taught that even a warrior's tool can create beauty. It showed that every action, no matter how small, can be done with intention and grace. The fruit, perfectly cut, was a symbol. It was a symbol of a life lived with mindful purpose, a life where even simple tasks are meaningful. A young traveler once came to Kenji's hut. The traveler was weary. His clothes were dusty from the road. His heart was heavy with worries. He had heard of the wise samurai who lived simply. He hoped to find answers to his troubles. He watched Kenji as he sat in his garden. He saw the peace in the old man's eyes. He saw the simple hut, the few possessions. He wondered how Kenji could be so content. "Master," the traveler asked, "you have so little. How do you find such peace?" Kenji smiled gently. His smile was like the warm sun. He gestured to the forest around them. "Look," he said softly. "The birds do not worry about tomorrow's song. The flowers do not compete for more sunlight than they need. They simply are. They live in harmony with what is given." His voice was calm like the gentle stream. "True wealth," Kenji continued, "is not in what we own. It is not in gold or land. True wealth is found in a humble heart, a heart that is grateful for small things." He explained that a full purse can often bring a heavy heart. Worries about losing wealth, desire for more, these things steal our peace. But a heart that is content with little is light. It is free. Poverty of things is not poverty of spirit, Kenji said. Nature gives us everything we truly need. Air to breathe, water to drink, the beauty of the earth to fill our eyes. These gifts are free. They are abundant. He looked at the simple flowers blooming. Each one is perfect. It does not try to be another flower. Live like the stream, Kenji advised. It flows. It gives life to the plants. It asks for nothing in return. It meets rocks and it flows around them. It does not fight. It finds its way. Find your way with a gentle spirit. Do not wish for what others have. Find joy in what you have, however small it may seem. A simple meal shared with a grateful heart is a feast. A quiet moment in nature is a treasure. This is the path to lasting peace. This is the secret of a rich life without worldly riches. Kenji picked up a slice of the perfectly cut orange. He offered it to the young traveler. "Taste this," he said. The traveler took the fruit. He put it in his mouth. The taste was sweet and pure. It was more delicious than any fruit he had tasted before. Perhaps it was the way it was cut. Perhaps it was the peace of this place. Or perhaps it was the wisdom he was hearing. He felt a sense of calm he had not known for a long time. The simple fruit felt like a special gift. "The sweetness you taste," Kenji said, his eyes kind, "is the sweetness of this moment. It is always here. We only need to be present to find it." He shared his final piece of wisdom. Find joy in what is. Do not dwell on what is missing. Life gives us many small joys every day. A warm ray of sun, a cool breeze, the smile of a friend, the song of a bird. These are the true riches. Open your heart to them. When you focus on what you have, you will always have enough. This is the way of a humble and happy life. As the sun began to set, it painted the sky with soft colors. Oranges, pinks, and purples blended together. The forest grew quiet. The bamboo whispered its evening song. The traveler looked at Kenji. The old samurai's face was serene in the fading light. The traveler felt a new lightness in his own heart. The worries that had burdened him seemed smaller now. He understood. Peace was not in a distant place. It was not in owning many things. It was here. It was now. It was inside him. The traveler bowed deeply to Kenji. He thanked him for his wisdom. He left the small hut with a lighter step. He carried the samurai's words in his heart. Life is simple, like the perfectly cut fruit. It can be beautiful in its own way. We only need to see it. We only need to live it with a mindful, humble spirit. The path to peace is not a grand journey. It is a quiet walk, appreciating the small wonders along the way. And that is the greatest wisdom of all.